Hello, Contracts again, and today, guys, I'm here to do another anime review, and my review is to Saenai Season 2, Episode 1, guys! Yes, guys, for the proper first episode of Saenai. Sort of. Like, what I mean by sort of, technically how the episode worked is that if you have not watched Episode 0, you more likely wouldn't understand what the fuck some of the hints and to the episode in this episode, because in this episode pretty much we did get some throwback hints of the previous episode, which I'm actually surprised they added that. Like, I thought episode 0 was just gonna be, you know, complete fan service episode. Like, it was not gonna be nothing to do with the series at all. It was just like, you know, an extra episode like thing, like, you know, just an OVA episode pretty much. But no, it's actually gonna be part of the canon of the series. It's gonna be part of the canon of it, so I was surprised about that. But yeah, most of this episode we find out the connection. We find out the connection between. So I'm gonna say the names wrong. That's why I'm not gonna call them. Say their names, but we found so I'm not going to say the names. I can't fully remember the names still. I didn't remember the names, but pretty much we find out that that Tsundere girl, you know, blonde hair Tsundere girl, and then we also got if I remember correct, her name is I saw that. And the black hair girl. I'm just gonna call her black hair girl. Like, you guys should know. I'm fucking terrible with names. I'm fucking terrible with names. But pretty much we found out that the connection between those two. Because if you guys actually didn't know, it seems, and I'm actually. And I was speculating as well, because when I watched the series prior, I felt like those two already knew each other from the beginning. Like, they already knew each other from the beginning. So I was wondering, how did they meet? How did they know each other? And how they fucking know that they both liked our main character, like our main male character. And the episode goes through how these two characters met each other. Now, how they met each other, first up, Tsundere girl, she, after reading a book that a friend offered her, a light novel, after reading a light novel that one of her friends from school offered to her, she read it and she started to like the series. And one time when she's about to see, she can start conversations with our main character again, because if you guys remember the correct, some terrible past, like I can't fully remember the full details. Like, I do remember, like, a terrible past. I do remember that we have got the conversation and the conclusion to the terrible past, but the past that she went through when she was younger made sure she couldn't see her friend for a long time, and because of people treating, of course, nerds back then, how people used to treat nerds and geeks, and somewhat still goes on to even today, which is surprising. Like, in this day and age, not many people take the mick out of people who are geeks and nerds, because most of the time they do, but because most of the time in this day and age, most people are geeks and nerds, but I digress from that. But very much, after reading this light novel, she goes up to the roof where she can find her, of course, the main male character. She finds him, but he is talking to someone, and it ends up being, of course, Tsundere girl, pretty much black hair girl. Sorry, I'm just describing from the elements of. Don't forget, guys, if you're watching this review, I'm expecting you to at least watch the episode, because I think all of you by now know that when I review anime, I fucking spoil as much as I can for some reason out of it. Like, I spoil the episode, so you guys should know by now. But that's the reason. But this, I'm saying, she ends up running into she ends up finding out she's talking to her, and she starts to feel jealous. And then, and you notice they were talking about the same light novel that she was reading. So she pretty much sends a letter to Black Hair Girl. I'm sorry, like I said, I'm still saying the elements, I just can't fucking remember the names, but you guys know who I'm talking about, because if you watched a review of episode 0, you guys should know, because I think I said her name. I think I did say her name. I think I said her name as well. I think I'm correct, I did say her name. I think I remember correct, our main character called Kosei? Yeah, no, I remember, okay, main character's Kosei, but pretty much, we already know that, and after sending that letter to her, we see Black Hair Girl pretty much, like I said, I'm just gonna call them by that because of the elements I've seen. But she pretty much goes to the person who sent the letter, and of course it was Tsundere Girl. Well, Tsundere Girl. Tsundere Girl. Oh, man, I'm not very good with these element names. Like, trying to use the specific traits of a character to describe them, I'm not very good at using those. But, like I said, like, I know I'm getting off topic. I know I'm keeping getting off topic, but I just can't help but saying this. But anyway, pretty much with her, pretty much what goes on, pretty much when Tsundere Girl pretty much was trying to somewhat convince her to stop talking to Keiichi, to our main character, our main character, how she tried to convince her is that, are you ashamed that you're talking to a geek, like talking to a geek, like everybody's gonna shun you because you're talking to a geek and everything. And of course we she doesn't. We all know that Black Hair Girl doesn't care, because first up, she's the author of the book she wrote, and that's what she told. Pretty much she told Tsundere Girl that she's the author of the book of this light novel. So, and she's like, oh fuck, like she was shocked that she was shocked that one of her favorite novels, it was being pretty much mean to the girl, to the author of one of her favorite books. So she started to feel a bit distressed about it. And then, of course, love, and then Black Hair Girl tried to do some research on who Tsundere. How does Tsundere Girl know our main male character? And of course, she tries to look into to Tsundere Girl's identity, like how does she know? And she finds out she is part of a club, and it ends up being the Fujiri Club, because you guys remember correct. Tsundere Girl, she's a she is an error artist. She's an error artist, or doujins. She does doujins, erotic doujin artist. So, if you guys remember that from the previous season, or even first, episode 0, she's a doujin artist. She writes she draws the doujin characters that the doujins describe, and of course, all of doujins are usually erotic. They're usually erotic, very sexual. So, of course, she has to draw sexualized characters, and of course, from that element, it just shows you why she's keeping it secret, why she's been keeping it a secret from pretty much everybody, because don't forget, she's a rich girl, don't forget, her family owns a corporation, so just imagine what if people find out that she draws doujins, sexual doujins as pretty much a hobby / job, so it just shows you what it's why she's been keeping the secret. And of course, because she's rich, she was able to make a club without people knowing what the club was about, and also make it have influence to make sure people don't even go in the club. Except, of course, Black Hair Girl just shows you she doesn't fucking care. We already know she doesn't fucking care. But yeah, she goes in and she finds out that she finds out she's the doujin artist of a famous doujin artist, and pretty much she again had the same reaction to how Sodatekata did. Like, she was shocked that she found a very popular doujin artist. And actually, she was shocked that also that one of her characters, like, as she's a doujin, don't forget, character, don't forget, actually, she does doujins. Most doujins are usually based on, real life, already written series. Like, most doujins are usually based on characters that came from another series. In other words, someone wrote a doujin of the characters from Bleach or Naruto, or the more popular ones, more likely the case, or doujins from like other series like the Fate series, like especially the Fate series, which is surprising even though it's already classified as a hentai game. But there's a lot of doujins for the Fate series as well, and like a lot of anime have got some form of doujins written about them. So they pretty much take an existing character from an existing series and usually writes a complete new story in a sexualized manner in a doujin. So fan-made stuff, and of course, as an author in Japan, a lot of authors actually praise these doujin artists. It's weird, but it's true. A lot of authors actually appreciate fans, even if it ends up being sexual, they appreciate, like, people writing fan fictions or any form of literature or arts, or draw some form of art style to the characters, the story. They appreciate it, because one advantage about doing these doujins and spin-offs and stuff is that these will be, well, first up, they will get people maybe interested in the original content, like, give awareness to the original source, like, to the doujin, and some people might want to check where this came from, and of course, as it's doujin, you're more likely will go. Most people will mostly read it because they already know the original content, but still, it promotes the series. Maybe not officially promotes, but authors do allow it because it does help promote the series for free. Because don't forget, the authors still need to fucking pay. Like, the authors don't get the complete, budget, the complete money they sell from the books. The company that produced the book and the editor will get the money, some percentage of the money. Surprisingly, the author will get the less amount. Mostly, the author will get the less amount. Most of the time. Unless you talk about those big major authors like J.K. Rowling, for example, who can get it. Maybe there's a strong ability that the company that published J.K. Rowling this book, it has more money, which is obvious, they own the fucking company, but they have more money than J.K. Rowling. And J.K. Rowling becomes a millionaire. She is a millionaire for writing books. So just imagine, if authors get the lowest amount, most of the time in budget. Just imagine how much that book company gets. The editor and the book company just imagine how much they get. It's a ton more than the author does. So it just shows you that technically the author will get, of course, less. The author will get the less amount. And that means technically the amount she could have gotten if, like, just imagine the amount if the company and the editor did not get the amount, didn't share any of the money, it all goes to the author. Just freaking imagine how much the author would have gotten. Like, imagine J.K. Rowling would have got. Just imagine how much she would have got if the editor, the company, no one else that works with J.K. Rowling to publish her books, only her, she gets all the money. Just imagine how much she would have gotten. More than just a freaking million. Become a millionaire. There's a strong possibility she could have become a billionaire. A billionaire. Just imagine. Just fucking imagine. So, that means technically she does pay the company. She does pay them. She does pay them to publish it by a huge amount. But technically, that is still some form of, you could say, payment. Because sharing, like, getting the same, sharing the money in a certain percentage is still technically, you're paying them. You are paying them. Because even it's weird that the author gets the less amounts. It's weird, like, I might be wrong about that. Maybe they get, maybe the author does get a bit more, but not that much. I'm not very good with this kind of thing, but I've heard maybe that the author gets less compared to the company and the publisher, and the editor, surprisingly, gets more than the author does. But the author, just pretty much that means the author, because it makes somewhat sense, because she gets these companies involved, she gets people involved to help her out sell her own book officially as well. So that means, of course, she has to pay. And not as in, like, proper paying, like, once the book sells, she pays a lot more. What it does, the book sells, that they make, of course, the certain amount of money that the company gain, that'll be the payment for helping Jake will help out for helping out the author. So that means, in other words, she pays them with the share amount, a certain amount of money she earns, and she gives the rest to the company that's helping out her, people that are helping her out. So she does technically somewhat pay, even though it's not really classified as paying. That she's still paying them. So it just shows you that she gets it just shows she gets money from it. That the company gets the most money. So that means as she has to pay the people, as she has to pay for the company, and editor and stuff. That means, of course, she get the less amount. She will keep the lesser amount, because the paying the people that work for you, like anybody who runs a job, like who actually runs the job, like they're the head, they're the boss, they usually pay their colleagues to help them out. And of course, the author is technically the leader. She's the leader. She's the boss. She's the main boss. So of course, she pays the editor and the company who publishes the book. She pays them this amount. She earns from the sign of the book. So that means she'll get the less amount. But then if you bring up fan fictions, and it means also that she has to pay also the promotion. Like the promotions they sell to make it, the promotions they send out to help her sell her book will be also part of the payment as well. The promoter will also get the promotion. The people who promoted her book would get a certain amount of money as well. But then you got, like I said, fan fictions. That's still a form of promotion. Free promotion. That means they're not getting paid to do this. They get it. If they're gonna get money, they get from actually selling the fan fictions themselves. They do it. They sell it themselves under their name, but with guideline strikes and with rights telling them that this is fan fiction. It's not meant to be official. It's not meant to be, their own original work. They disclaimed that, of course. If you're going to sell fan fictions, obviously, of course, you have to disclaim. I think I'm correct. Even 50 Shades of Grey had to do that, because people who still don't know, 50 Shades of Grey is a spin-off the light novel of Twilight. So technically, when it became a very popular series, it became an official book series and official movie, I take it they had to make a disclaimer that the idea came from the original, as a fan fiction series, so that of course they had to get official permission from the original creators of Twilight. So pretty much the same situation with So if they want to sell it, they have to get official permission from the original creators of said series, said characters, like that. So of course, fanfiction getting sold, they have to get official permission from the original authors either way. So of course that means they had to get permission for it. But then after getting permission, the rest of their work will be theirs. They'll be theirs. But and the author doesn't need to pay them. The author doesn't need to pay them, and it's all free. Because of that, as it's still you could say some form of promotion. It's free promotion without the author without the author paying them. So that means, of course, the promotion will go to the author. People might be interested in the series and buy the books. And as this promotion is free, she doesn't have to pay. That means she will gain more than she would have done if no one did fan fictions of the said series that she was originally creating. She will gain more that she originally would have done if this was like a proper paid promotion, not a complete fan fiction free promotion. So the author would gain more money than she would originally did. So fanfiction is a quite big thing, and of course, when black hair girl finds out that one of the characters that she done in her light novel gets, of course, a fanfiction, of course she feels praised and shocked in a way that a girl that freaking teased and hated, in a way, she was being rude to, was actually doing something that helped her to gain, popularity and gives her, free promotion and helps her out a bit. So, when she runs into her again, she, of course, still acts annoyed herself because as she was being mean to begin with, she still keeps that attitude, and both of them do, and they start to find a mutual connection to each other and then start to become rivals so they can make our main character so they can make the main character fall in either with either one of them. So in other words, became rivals, and it goes back to the present day, and they're still doing making the game and everything. But that's pretty much what the episode is about. Animation, and yeah, that's all we really got to say. And it's already over 20 minutes long, over 22 minutes long. Oh god, it's mostly because of the author talk. The author talk took quite long to talk about. But as you guys should know, I've got autism, so I just can't help with my talking being so long. But if you're still watching even from then, I'm glad you're still watching from me just blabbing all the time, making no fucking sense. I know I'm not making fucking sense, but I try my best, even for a person who has autism. But still, this episode, animation quality, the same, normal, not too bad, not too good, not too bad, still average. I liked it. But overall, the episode, I enjoyed the episode, and it was nothing too interesting. It's just a backstory of learning how these two characters met, and why they start being, starting a rivalry between each other so they can get character Kosei, okay, got his name properly, Kosei, back to make either one of them. So, yeah, and that's all I've got to say. And guys, that's my anime review to Saikono Season 2, Episode 1. Hope you guys like it. Become chat fans today. If you guys want to send me email, just down below. My address there. And yeah, hope you guys like it. Come on, subscribe. And I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys!